Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey.
What's up?
And the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
What up, Dale?
And I'm your host, Scribe, the Lord of Punishment. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. Hope you've all had a good week, a good Friday, and you have a good weekend ahead of you. Hope you are all safe and well. If you're not well, please get well soon. Oh, boy, what a Friday. I am... glad it's over. It was a long day. A lot of work stuff to do. And then I made us into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Indeed.
Hope you guys like that. I worked really hard on that. But yeah. So, Satsu, how are you doing?
I would be better if I stayed off the internet, but what can you do?
Okay, well, good luck with that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Monkey, how are you?
Not too bad. Very broken sleep, but I got a little bit. How you doing?
Similar on the sleep front. I've been sleeping kind of wonky the last couple of nights. I don't know if it's the change in temperature where it's like it's not hot enough to be really uncomfortable, but it's just warm enough and humid enough that like I'll wake up intermittently because of it or something. Like one blanket is at one time enough, and then later on not enough. And anyway, so little things. For those of you offering me advice on how to improve the quality of my internet and staving off roboting, I appreciate the advice. I will look into some other solutions. I've already tried a couple of things like getting a signal booster and a whole bunch of other things. So I don't know. It doesn't happen all the time. It just when it does happen, it's just annoying. So. But that aside, I'm trying to think if there's anything else going on to say or mention. No, so Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and many of you haven't, so maybe think about that. And please share our stuff far, wide, and sideways. If there's a content creator you like, whether it's us or anybody else, chances are YouTube is not helping them to broadcast the fact that they exist. So if you like something, let people know that you do. Tweet it out, share it out, whatever you like. Thank you. This is Kyle. Hello, chat people in Lawton. Hello, Kyle. Hope you're good. Anything to mention or plug or anything else before we get into the wonderful world of the schnuz?
Nothing that comes to mind, thanks.
Satsu?
COVID selfies.
COVID Sophies?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you, Paige. Good evening, Lawton, and everyone in chat. Hello, Paige. All right. Well, then, have I got some options for us tonight? In fact, hell, we haven't done this in forever. How about a potpourri?
Pot puree.
Wow. Can you feel the enthusiasm, everyone? Monkey, will you be the Vanna White as I give you the potpourri?
Certainly.
Okay. Your topics are daily briefings, vice presidential candidate, domestic assault, and Lysol.
Oh, let's start with a fun one. Let's beat some bitches up.
Which one does that apply to?
Domestic assault.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, hey, depending on your context, Lysol could be it. Domestic assault may have triggered the Canadian rampage that left 22 dead, police say. A domestic assault could have been the catalyst of a Nova Scotia shooting rampage that left 22 people dead, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police said Friday. A police timeline indicates the 12-hour rampage began in the quiet town of Portapique, if I'm saying that correctly, on Cobequid Bay Saturday. Canada, you got some weird names of stuff. When the gunman assaulted his longtime girlfriend, according to the Nova Scotia RCMP Superintendent Darren Campbell. The woman escaped and hid in the woods after an assault, quote, that very well could have been the catalyst, unquote, of the slaughter. But investigators have not discounted the possibility of any pre-planning at this time. The woman, who's still recovering from serious injuries, emerged from the woods several hours after the first shooting deaths. Campbell said she provided police key information about the gunman. Police said the guy that shot people, who I'm not even going to bother his name, led police on a miles-long manhunt across the Canadian province. He died after a confrontation with police. He was wearing an RCMP uniform and drove what appeared to be a police cruiser, according to Campbell. Let's see. The girlfriend, who continues to cooperate in the investigation, told police in the early morning hours Sunday that he was armed with several weapons and ammunition. She also provided the details of his appearance and vehicle. And then it goes into a long recitation of the events thereafter. Horrible, tragic, etc. But yeah, if anybody was curious about a motive, as though a motive would really matter or change anything, there you go.
And that led to killing how many? 22?
22, at least, I suppose, unless there's people still in the hospital, that is the total.
Jesus.
That's fucking crazy.
All right.
Thank you, Delta Fruit Zero. Monkey leads, Scribe does machines, Dog Cat Fox is cool but rude, Satsu's a party dude, Turtle Power. Yes, if I remember correctly, Monkey likes Leonardo, so I made him Leonardo. Yeah. And after that, it was kind of like, well, I always like Donatello, so I'll take Donatello. Michelangelo was kind of a food connoisseur of a kind, so I put Satsu there. And then lastly, for Raphael, I was like, who can I put there? I was like, wait a second. I've got a Dog Cat Fox face over here. I'll do a Dog Cat Fox there. And that was my logic. I know it's really deep thinking, but
look, I'm all for you making me a Teenage Mutant Negro Turtle.
You know, we're all equally green in that picture, Satsu.
I'm a little darker green.
Wow.
Colorism, the dark green pigment.
Yeah, colorism among mutants. All right.
That's right.
Well, Monkey, your categories remaining are Daily Brief.
VP.
Okay, well, that was quick. Okay, so this is an opinion piece by someone named Benjamin Jealous. Interesting name. So the title is The Creative Thinker Who Should Be Biden's Vice President. Now,
oh, dear Lord.
You guys have any guesses? It is a name that we are aware of. I'll at least put it that far. It is a name we are aware of. It's been listed on a couple of lists we've talked about now. So who do you think is the creative thinker that this person believes should be Biden's vice president?
Does it have a vagina?
Does it? What the hell?
What?
Yes, there is a vagina involved.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Warren again.
Okay.
What's the crazy one's name?
Oh, Marianne Williamson.
Yeah.
Williams. Was it Williams or Williamson?
Williams.
Because you had to think about it. I know it's not her, but I'm still sticking with that answer.
Oh, okay.
Williamson, yeah.
All right. So the first sentence gives it away, but I will at least read this part. Benjamin Jealous is a visiting scholar at the Annenberg School for Communication at the University of Pennsylvania and a board member at Pigeonly.com.
Oh, okay.
Pigeonly. What's Pigeonly? I don't know. But anyway, nearly 30 years ago, I met Stacey Abrams at a training for student organizers hosted by the A. Philip Randolph Institute, an organization for African American trade unionists. I had just been suspended by Columbia University for protesting the university's plans to turn the Audubon Ballroom, where Malcolm X was shot to death, into a biomedical research facility. And Abrams was on her way to becoming student body president of Spelman College. Coming of age and eager to make a difference, we were brimming with hopeful visions of a level playing field for all Americans. I believed in her ambition to create a more just and equitable society in the South, and that is exactly what I have had the privilege to witness over the last 3 decades. Really? Because she lost. And everybody cheated, and she was robbed of the governorship, I thought.
Hey, she still hasn't said she's not the governor, so she could be the governor.
No, that's true. As an activist, attorney, and formidable political leader. Really? Because she lost her election. Oh. She has proven time and time again her ability to break barriers for others. Yeah, like her gubernatorial rival.
Except the barrier of victory.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that glass ceiling's still there. Oh, boy. And it's time for Abrams to break one more barrier as Joe Biden's vice presidential candidate. Well, you see, here's the thing. She wouldn't be breaking that barrier. She'd have the door opened for her, wouldn't she?
Yeah, she has to be chosen.
Yeah.
And specifically for her vagina. So,
Well,
except she wouldn't even be the first female VP nominee. That was Geraldine Ferraro back in the 80s.
Yeah. So I'm not quite sure what he means by what barrier, unless he's talking about woman of color.
The Ninja Turtle barrier.
Of course, haven't there been? I thought the Green Party there was a vice president. I mean, if it means anything.
They mean major party. One that people are actually going to vote for.
Okay. Let's see. She has many of the strengths that could help Biden win in November, including. Okay, what do you think are the strengths? Okay, without trying to guess this guy's list, what do you think? And without being facetious, if she has any strengths, and you can be as petty about it as you want, but what strengths does she actually have to bolster Biden's candidacy? Do you think?
You say we can't be facetious, and I have to have a real answer. Okay,
I was being facetious.
Oh, I would say her biggest strength is that she can kill people with that gap in her teeth.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, God.
No, probably something like refusal to quit.
Yes, unparalleled optimism.
Or, as I've just learned recently, toxic positivity.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you, TEDx. Okay, including popularity among key Democratic constituencies, progressives, young voters, and voters of color, and the data backs it up.
Does it?
Well, he's got a hyperlink to something, so let's see.
Every time I hear something of color, I just imagine people like actually being red or blue or green.
So his hyperlink leads to a different opinion piece at the New York Times.
We got the data to back it up. Here's another opinion piece.
I'm scrolling down through the opinion piece to look for the data. Okay. A close examination of the electoral track record of the possible partners shows that Miss Abrams best offers what Mr. Biden most needs. In terms of success with young people, Barack Obama's political popularity is unquestioned, and therefore his support levels among that demographic offer a valuable measuring. I hate to tell you this, Stacey Abrams is not Barack Obama.
What?
I know it's a shocking revelation, but using Barack Obama's popularity statistics as the metric by which to compare to Stacey Abrams, these are not the same people.
But they're both dark.
Yeah.
Oh, I was operating on a playing field of merit. I apologize.
What an idiot.
I'm so ashamed.
You should be.
But Abrams has something more. Oh, monkey, a determination to get the job done no matter what challenges may stand in her way.
Including losing.
And still losing. That's right. No matter what obstacles get in her way, she'll lose that election. You just wait and see, everybody.
That's right.
And given the stakes of the 2020 election, that tenacity will be a quality critical to winning back the White House in November. Because Biden doesn't have that. I mean, that's the implication. She possesses what Biden doesn't. So Biden doesn't actually have any tenacity or anything. As the youngest president in the history of the NAACP, I understand what it means to be underestimated for a job.
What?
This is the author talking. As the youngest president in the history of the NAACP, I understand what it means to be underestimated for a job.
Well,
how did you get the job?
Exactly.
Well, no, I get what he's probably saying there is that because of his age, people underestimate him and don't figure he can do much. I could see that.
Okay, it didn't sound like that's what they were saying. It sounded like that they were saying like they didn't get the position for that reason. But I'm like, you have it. So how? I'm confused. Okay.
Thank you again, Paige. Why do I keep thinking that Stacey Abrams is Stephanie Abrams from the Weather Channel? I would Google Stephanie, by the way. She's pretty cute. Yes, Stephanie Abrams is pretty cute. Let's see. What it means to be okay. And I know that there are many who may doubt if Abrams is capable of taking on the vice presidential task. There's no task. The vice president just breaks ties in the Senate. That's it. That's it. I mean, anything else is at the pleasure of the president, and there's no task. It's just standing there and saying speeches and stuff, but not even that's required of you unless the president says so. I mean, we keep glorifying the president more than really by law he should be, or the position should be. Same thing with the vice president. There's not much there. You stand in there, you break ties in the Senate, and if something goes wrong with the president, you take over.
Right.
You don't have to do anything. There's no task.
Can you check the private chat, Monkey?
Yeah.
I can too. Oh, I see how it is. Well, now I know the secret. Chat doesn't. Let's see. However, for Abrams, these barriers have often been present, and not once did they stand in her way.
Huh?
Did I?
What?
Oh, hold on. Oh, sorry. I missed a sentence, but I don't know if it matters. Let me skip back up. After all, when there is no precedent for your power, no figure in authority to emulate. Okay, I'm going to start. Sorry, guys. I'm going to start this one over because my brain just broke. After all, and again, he's referring back to her ability to take on the vice presidential task. After all, when there is no precedent for your power, no figure in authority to emulate, it becomes difficult for others to accept the legitimacy of your capability.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He's talking about, again, reducing everything down to gender and race. Because there has not been a black female major party vice presidential candidate, therefore, there is no precedent and no role model for her.
But you don't... Okay.
Thank you to Officer Buck. Hello, pubescent deviation combatant terrapin.
Nani?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes. Okay, now moving on. However, for Abrams, these barriers have often been present and not once did they stand in her way, except for losing. For example, I saw firsthand how effective she was as the Georgia House Democratic leader, and I might add, the first woman to lead a party in either house of the Georgia legislature. Okay. In the minority and in the Deep South, Abrams moved several bipartisan pieces of criminal justice reform through the legislature, from reforming juvenile detention systems to improving the parole system. Additionally, she single-handedly blocked tax increases on the working poor and middle class. Single-handedly? What, she filibuster? While also forging strategic alliances to repeatedly block anti-environmental legislation pushed by top Republicans. And yet somehow, she lost. Okay, this just goes on, kissing up to Stacey Abrams this whole time because this guy probably wants to be on her staff or something if she becomes vice presidential. So, anyway.
Well, there's a lot of people who are pushing her for... Let's be honest, they're pushing her because she's black.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of disgusting, really, guys. If you had something that she actually had done other than her most recent thing being refusing to admit that she lost an election, okay, sure. And going back to her achievements in the legislature, okay, let's say that's true too. Did she have a mentor who showed her how to do that?
Of course not. There's no precedent for her kind of power.
She's never been. She did this all by herself.
Single-handedly. You heard it. I mean, all that stuff, she just snapped her fingers and it happened because she's that powerful all by herself. I mean that's why he listed her achievements at the beginning of the article and not near the bottom. Anyway, moving on. Your remaining categories are daily briefings and Lysol.
Oh, let's do Lysol.
Lysol maker. Please don't drink our cleaning products.
Mm-hmm.
I think you put big labels on those packages and have been doing so for many, many years, haven't you? The company that makes Lysol and Dettol, Dettol, I'm not aware of that one, is urging customers not to consume its cleaning products after President Donald Trump suggested the possibility of injecting disinfectants to protect people from coronavirus. I'm still a little fuzzy. I didn't actually see the video on this.
Oh.
So I know it's been mentioned. It was mentioned last night as well. I just want to clarify again. He was talking in wishful thinking terms. Is that correct?
Yes. What he said.
Possibility, yeah.
Yeah, what he said was that disinfectants are killing this thing on contact, and it would be interesting to see if there's something we could do, like with an injection or something similar. What he said was the exact wording was something like that.
Real quick, because the super chats are hidden depending on what type of chat I'm on, regardless of whether I'm on one or the other. Sorry, Johnny Hellcat. Going back to Stacey Abrams for a moment. Thank you for the super chat. Underestimated? Are we talking Dolezal levels of underestimation? In Stacey Abrams' case, no. She's no Rachel Dolezal, as far as I know. But anyway. Right. So he was talking in the abstract, not about actually injecting Lysol or disinfectants into your veins. But everybody's taking it like that's what he said and meant.
Yeah, because he even goes on to say, it's something doctors need to look into. And there were some people who gave him shit because he was talking about using UV rays internally. And they're like, that's not something we can do. It's actually something we can and do.
Yeah, it's something we actually do. Yeah, do.
So,
let's see. And then I did read the part where he tried to cover his tracks by saying that he was being sarcastic when he wasn't being sarcastic.
Oh yeah, that's the only real humpetry I had for today.
We'll get to that.
You lying motherfucker.
Yeah. You couldn't just take the win that you're being blatantly taken out of context. But we'll get to that. Reckitt Benckiser, a British company, warned Friday that human consumption of disinfectant products is dangerous. You don't say. Like all those warnings on the labels that say this is not meant for human consumption. If ingested, call 911 or something, right? I mean, what idiot is... Well, okay, I take that back. Fish tank cleaner, but anyway. It issued the statement following, quote, recent speculation and social media activity. As a global health leader in health and hygiene products, we must be clear that under no circumstance should our disinfectant products be administered into the human body through injection, ingestion, or any other route. They should be used as intended and in line with usage guidelines. We have a responsibility in providing consumers with access to accurate, up-to-date information as advised by leading public health experts, the company said. The statement followed remarks from President Trump on Thursday on the use of disinfectants. Quote, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in 1 minute. Is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? It would be interesting to check that, Trump said. It sounds interesting to me, he added.
They skipped the part where he said it's something doctors need to look at.
Yeah, they didn't have the part there.
CNN's
chief medical correspondent, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, was quick to point out that this is simply wrong. Quote, he also said it needs to be studied. Actually, it doesn't. I mean, we know the answer to this one, he said on CNN's Anderson Cooper. I think everybody would know that this would be dangerous and counterproductive.
Well, a lot of people who were correcting this were sharing the fact that similar procedures have been done, where they use like peroxide to like clean your internal organs and stuff like that or something. I was reading something. I got to find the link to it or whatever, but they were saying like it is because that is a disinfectant, because everybody's like, it doesn't matter if he didn't specifically say Lysol or whatever. When people hear disinfectant, that's what they think of. I'm like, you have to be an idiot though. Like that's like the flaw to your argument is you need to be stupid in order for that to work.
Well, the other thing too is you have to manually insert Lysol into the notion since he never mentioned a product.
Yeah.
Or Tide Pods or bleach or any of the other stupid shit that's been going around. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just like, you have to be an idiot. And the narrative is, well, Trump supporters are idiots. They're going to do it, and he's going to be responsible if he kills them. And I'm like, but the only people sharing memes about Clorox and pill form and pictures of people with fucking cables coming through the bleach and like they're injecting it in them, the only people doing that are liberals. So who's pushing this narrative, really? Who is the people pushing the narrative that this should happen, whether it be jokingly or seriously? Because it wasn't anybody on the Trump administration.
Razorfist just tweeted this out a couple minutes ago. If you sincerely believe the president suggested you ingest bleach, you should go ahead and take his advice.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Okay. So, yeah. And one more about Trump and coronavirus. Aides and allies making concerted effort to get Trump to stop doing daily briefings. There has been a concerted effort amongst aides and allies to get President Donald Trump to stop conducting the daily coronavirus briefings, multiple sources tell CNN. After weeks of briefings that sometimes last more than 2 hours, there is some agreement in the West Wing that some of the news conferences have gone on too long, resulting in a situation where Trump and administration officials simply run out of coronavirus-related questions. The result, aides have noticed, is that the briefings stray into politics instead of the matter at hand. What you mean? Do you mean to tell me that a presidential press briefing is political?
And also, we need to remind you that none of that is our fault. It's not like we shift the narrative of everything that he says and makes it a us versus them narrative. You know, that never happens either.
Yeah, and it's not the press that are asking the questions. Axios was first to report potential changes to the Coronavirus Task Force news briefings. Friday's Coronavirus Task Force news briefing was the shortest since the pandemic began, clocking in at 22 minutes. Trump had also taken questions from the press while signing a coronavirus relief spending bill earlier in the day. The previous shortest briefing was 32 minutes. The briefing came a day after Trump had given a lengthy briefing to the media. The briefing came a day after... Use the same word in the sentence twice. At one point, suggesting it might be possible to treat coronavirus by injecting people with sunlight or disinfectants.
Yeah, he suggested you can inject people with sunlight.
Did he say? Wait,
no.
Where? Okay, what did he say that could be?
He said UV rays.
He was talking about how we know that this dies in the sun. By the way, he also talked about humidity. I haven't seen anybody suggest you're supposed to pump water into your veins. Anyhow, he was talking about how it kills, that it dies in sunlight, and it's the UV rays that do it. Now, there's 3 kinds of UV rays, A, B, and C. B and C are really damaging to humans. A is not so much. And he mentioned that this is something that's already being looked at and has been tried. Not necessarily with corona. And yeah, these idiots, instead of looking up the actual science that is out there, that exists today, they're like, yeah, he said to inject sunlight.
Thank you, Paige. Lawton has been brought to you by Captain Obvious. Thank you, Paige. And Evolved Potato says, Monkey, you should go check your Streamlabs.
Oh.
Let's see. And thank you, Officer Buck. Oh, good. I was looking for a way to get an internal tan. Let's see. The president was heavily criticized for the dangerous suggestion that disinfectants be put into the human body, with the maker of Lysol, a leading cleaning disinfectant, asking the public to not put its product into their bodies, even though they were never brought up. Quote, I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Trump asked White House Coronavirus Task Force Coordinator Dr. Deborah Bricks during Thursday's briefing. Many close to him believe the daily briefings hurt him with more than they help him, with Thursday's episode being the prime example.
So now, do you guys think that Lysol, the actual company, would have had to come out and say, don't drink or ingest our products if the left wasn't making hundreds of fucking memes showing people doing exactly that?
Well, I mean, Lysol came out and did this because it's free marketing.
Well, we know why they did it in that case, but
yeah,
people are saying like, oh, people might do this.
Mhm.
But it can't be the thousands of memes because people aren't stupid enough to fall for that when they see actual pictures of people doing that. But they are stupid enough to hear somebody suggest that to perform a medical procedure that you should kill yourself with.
Well, all they have to do is point to the guy in the fish tank. All it takes is one idiot, and that's all it takes.
Over in the Streamlabs, thank you so much, Evolved Potato, who says, about the UV light inside the body. YouTube took the video you linked on Monkey in the Morning down for guideline violations or something stupid, so that's nice. Now, that video is from a biotech company called AYTU, and they worked with Cedars-Sinai Hospital. So, we're talking doctors and scientists here. And they developed a way to put a UV light down into a trach tube. When they go put the tube down for a tracheotomy.
Yeah.
And put the light right down basically between the lungs and have the light go off for a while to help, do exactly what Trump was talking about there. And apparently YouTube is taking that video down. So good on you. That video, by the way, went up last year. It wasn't about Corona at all.
Yes.
Thank you, Kingslayer Damocles. It's literally already on their products. Yes. Like I said, Lysol, the company, was taking advantage of the controversy to insert itself into the conversation, even though it was never brought up. It is completely earned marketing, earned media. They don't have to actually pay for anything. They put out a statement. Everybody talks about it. Now Lysol's on everybody's lips. Not literally, but hey, you never know. So there you go. Anyway, we're at the bottom of the hour, guys. We're going to move on to the wonderful world of MSS News. Thank you, Monkey, for being Vanna White.
Happy to help.
And guys, if you have news stories you'd like us to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSS News. Can't promise we'll get to them all, but that's because we'll probably get caught on Frosted Glass's story. As usual. This one comes from Sir Quack. That is an amazing picture. I don't know the context, but I'm about to find out, I guess. Come on, you can do it. Mom left in hysterics after 4-pound Amazon fake teeth that fits all sizes are too big. I'm not even sure what's going on here. I'm going to put the link in the chat so you can see the picture, at least, because that is... are looking. A mom who wanted sparkling white teeth was left in hysterics after finding out the cheap veneers she ordered were far too big. Yeah, they make her look like she's like one of those human cartoons. Sarah Hamilton, 30, ordered the one-size-fits-all teeth on Amazon for £3.98. Due to having type 1 diabetes, which has caused her teeth to become damaged, Sarah brought the discounted veneers. Okay, they wrote brought, they meant bought. The discounted veneers online with the hope that they would upgrade her smile. For £4, lady? You're a moron. Sarah from Bolton, that explains it, questioned the quality before purchase, but the good reviews reassured her to buy, which I'm sure were all real people. When the pearly whites arrived, she was crying with laughter as the clip-in teeth were so big she couldn't even close her mouth. Well,
she had boogies?
I don't know. Thank you, Citron. Haven't chatted in a while. Hi, Scrabbles. Hi, Citron. A long time no see. Hope you're good. Quote, my teeth have been damaged due to my sugars being uncontrolled, which has made me feel self-conscious, so I wanted to get some clip-in veneers for everyday use. They were only cheap, so it wasn't a great loss, and the reviews were good, so I thought I may as well try my luck. Well, you gambled, and you lost. Is that the same person in both of those pictures?
Which pictures?
Well, the pictures in the article. I'm looking at the top one. Maybe it's just the teeth that throw it off because I'm trying to look between the two.
Oh, there it is.
Is that the same person?
I didn't see the link. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Well, again, if you pay $4 for something, you're not paying for actual quality. And if you're not consulting a dentist, you're not getting actual dental inserts. I don't know what to tell you. So if she thought it was a joke the whole time, good for her. If she was looking for something serious, she's dying.
Yeah, it's the same chick. Just one of the pictures is reversed.
Okay.
She's got a nose ring and a mole, you can see.
Yeah, okay. And of course, one looks like she has more makeup on than the other one, too. Anyway. Okay, this one comes from Frosted Glass.
And she does look like Boogie. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, Boogie. Oh, when he said Boogie, I was like, it took me a second. I was like, oh, yeah, right. He got his teeth removed or replaced. Yeah, and they look fake. I mean, they look perfect, but they look like, Uncanny Valley perfect. So that kind of throws it all off.
They always look so big. They look like horse teeth.
Yeah. So Slate.com has this for us. If I get sick with COVID-19, don't tell my doctor I'm transgender.
What?
As the Trump administration moves to enable healthcare discrimination against LGBTQ people, I should be able to choose how much of my medical history to share. Well, if you want to take risks with your personal health by withholding important information from your healthcare provider, roll them dice, I guess. Okay. If you were hospitalized for a severe illness, would you trust the ICU doctors with access to your complete medical history?
Yes.
Yes.
I wouldn't trust them without it.
Why wouldn't you? In theory, of course, all of us should feel able to answer yes. You are able to answer yes. You're choosing not to. Doctors need complete, accurate information about a patient's history to make the best possible decisions about that patient's care. You're arguing against your own point here. But what if stigmatizing info in some charts led them to deprioritize the patient because they do not value some aspect of that person's identity?
What? So, okay. All right. Well,
maybe the doctor's a bigot, so I'm going to take a chance and lie.
For transgender patients, as well as patients with other stigmatizing information in their medical pasts, there's reason to fear that an accurate medical history could lead to worse treatment, not better.
No, there's not.
In fact, just this week, the Trump administration's health department is apparently, and I emphasize that word, not the author, moving to finalize a rule that would roll back Obama-era protections on LGBTQ discrimination in healthcare settings.
Apparently.
In the midst of the coronavirus pandemic, this has me thinking dark thoughts about what I would and would not want a doctor treating me for COVID to know.
Yeah, I need to step away for just a second. This person's a fucking idiot.
Now, they have a hyperlink to whatever they're talking about. The file. Let's see. What exactly is the... Okay, I'm going over to Politico. The Trump administration is moving to scrap an Obama-era policy that protected LGBTQ patients from discrimination, alarming health experts who warned that the regulatory rollback could harm vulnerable people during a pandemic. What? Okay. The health department is close to finalizing its long-developing rewrite of Obamacare's Section 1557 provision, which barred healthcare discrimination based on sex and gender identity. Don't we have laws elsewise that kind of do that? The administration's final rule on Thursday was circulated at the Justice Department, a step toward publicly releasing the regulation in the coming days. Advocates fear that it would allow hospitals and health workers to more easily discriminate against patients based on their gender or sexual orientation. Except that sexual orientation is not sex or gender identity, by the way. Not that it really matters, I guess. And then I suddenly closed that. Let's try that again. Thank you, Sanguine. So doctors need to have people sign waivers so that they aren't able to be sued over people withholding pertinent medical history, because if docs can't be sued for it, sure, you can be stupid, perhaps die. Yeah, I don't quite get the logic here. Like, okay, so again, I go to the doctor, I'm seriously ill. In order to not be discriminated against, I'm going to assume the doctor is going to discriminate against me Thus, I'll withhold pertinent medical information from them while I am seriously ill, and this will give me a better chance of treatment than if I'm honest with the doctor, who is obviously going to discriminate against me because they're a doctor.
Well, here's the interesting part, and this is almost always the case. Now, this person is talking about preconceived notions that these doctors have towards trans people that will make them do bigoted things against them. Yet, in order to come to that conclusion, you have to form preconceived notions about all doctors and the way that they are going to treat you when you get there. Like, you're basically saying they're all monsters who hate trans people, and you're scared that they're going to do something horrible like that to you by default. Like, all doctors are capable of it. So how is that different from them thinking that all trans people aren't worth, doing work on or treating properly or prioritizing? How is that different? It's the same mindset.
We have a birthday.
Whose birthday is it?
It's Keenan or Kynan. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. Keenan.
Kanan?
Kanan. Shouldn't it be I before E except after C and sounding like A?
Yeah, I think it's Kanan.
I don't.
You're the English major.
That doesn't mean anything.
I mean, that doesn't mean. Well, I know it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, see, I know it doesn't mean anything. I mean, I'm an English major, not a linguistics major.
I'm going with Keenan. Correct us if we're wrong before I get to the singing part of it.
You just said Kanan.
No, I said it could be.
Well, which is it there then, Mr. Expert?
I was telling them to correct us. He says, that's right.
All right.
Well, that cleared it up. Thank you. Go ahead.
I'll get your super chat and then we'll say.
Okay. Angry Illinois said it goes against their code and it would lose their license to practice medicine. Not inherently. I mean, suing somebody for malpractice or something else can always be tough to prove. But yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of other internal, industry-wide, profession-wide guidelines, rules, etc. Trump rolling back a policy from the Obama administration does not make it law. That's the part of this that just makes me go like, so what? Doctors aren't going to be punished for not discriminating against people. Anyway, go
ahead. Keenan, this one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, dear Keenan.
April babies are awesome.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I hope you had a good one.
Let's see. Side note, I had sent Kate Kennedy an invite to come on the show, and she would have, but apparently the power is out in her neighborhood, and she can't even do the scheduled show she was going to do, which was going to occur after our show. So hope her power comes back on soon. Let's see. So that's enough of that one. Let's move on to something else. This one comes from Massive Dynamics. Did we already talk about this one? This looks really familiar. Why won't woke boys pay for sex?
What?
Did we already talk about this?
Doesn't sound familiar, but
maybe I just saw it on Twitter or something. Let's see. 4 months before Violet, a 25-year-old transsexual with dollish cheekbones and a primary color wardrobe, moved to Brooklyn, she toyed with the idea of holding a farewell tour in her lifelong home of Portland, Oregon. Okay. Her approach to putting a bow on her 20-plus years in a city mocked for its liberal leanings was to collide her two disparate worlds. Her friend circle of jewel-puffing, mulleted Bernie bros with her recent professional foray into sucking cock for cash.
The hell are we reading?
I don't No, it's Mel Magazine. I don't even know what that is. So she's going to suck off a bunch of Bernie bros?
That was the plan, it sounds like, but it doesn't seem like it worked out too well for her.
By the way, people, just so you know, we're not necessarily an R-rated show, but this is an R-rated show on the off chance you have anyone who's easily shocked. Because I was shocked just by reading that. I didn't see that. Okay. Quote, what if I put it out there that I'm available as a sex worker for people I know for highly discounted rates? Unquote. Okay, this is the author talking. Violet, now a good friend of mine. Is there a reason? Are you one of those Bernie bros? Recently tells me over FaceTime, recalling the logic behind her maniac idea. Yeah. She admits it was both a stab at giving her friends a last chance to fuck while also raking in as much money as she could before she hit the Big Apple. I am bewildered right now.
Well, carry on. I'm interested.
Clip that, guys. That's your new ringtone. Violet took to Instagram stories to vibe check these guys. Quote, if you're someone who supports sex work at an intellectual level, would you ever hire a sex worker yourself, she wrote. Okay. She assumed that her peers, millennial Zoomer cusps with art degrees and hard-ons for progressive politics, would be prime clients. After all, as youngish liberals, they seem to overwhelmingly support sex workers and the decriminalization of their profession, and they were right in line with those of others in their demographic categories. According to a January survey by Data for Progress, sounds very unbiased, more than half of American men, 58%, and about 2/3 of 20-somethings of all genders are down with the New Zealand model, which removes criminal penalties for selling and paying for sex. More than 3/4 of very liberal folks also claim to throw their support behind it. Well, I mean, fundamentally, I support the notion. I don't know that I'd be someone who'd be interested in taking part in those services, but at the same time, two consenting adults doesn't bother me. Despite stereotypes of Johns being unattractive older men, well, let's be honest, they are, aren't they?
I don't know. I'm not one, so.
Some research shows that clients of sex workers tend to have their first experience of paid sex when they're young, hot, and in their 20s. What's that got to do with anything? Despite having more opportunities for sex than their more aged counterparts. I don't know about how many opportunities. It depends on the person. In 2 different studies, 3/4 of arrested Johns. What is this about?
I don't know.
Okay, the next paragraph. In other words, the numbers suggest that more of Violet's followers should have been down with paid sex, but that's not what happened.
Right. We assumed that from the beginning, but can we get to the meat of this shit? We've been reading this for a while now.
The woke guys in her social circle who responded weren't bringing the same kind of hoorah they had for the idea of standing in solidarity with sex workers, and exactly none of them offered to cough up cash. Hey, they don't owe her anything.
I mean,
I can support something without participating in it. I support legalizing pot. I don't smoke pot. I support legalizing same-sex marriage. I'm not gay. Supporting something does not mean I have to give you money.
Well, here's the thing. This narrative should sound very familiar.
Doesn't it, though?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing as the whole comic book thing, where they're like, these people demand that, people of color and all these, comics based on all this stuff get released. But when they get released, for some reason, they die because they don't get support. What's going on? Could it possibly be that these fucking assholes are yelling that they support something but won't actually be willing to shill for it?
Well, but here's the thing. They're supporting the idea of legalizing sex work, but that does not then translate to paying someone they know for sex.
Of course not.
Okay. In comic books, I mean, if you say, I want a female Iron Man, right? And then you don't buy the comic book, well, that's very specific. This is talking about legalizing something that's illegal, but then not partaking of it yourself, which is not required of you at that point.
I mean, yeah, but the result is still the same.
Thank you, Nick. She needs a plunger. Not well. If that plunger's got a $20 bill attached to it, then maybe. Yeah. Anyway, this sounds like someone who feels that they're entitled to something, and they're not getting it. Imagine that. And did you say you're a millennial? Wow. Pincalo, thank you so much. I just got here. Start the article over again. No. No. I will put the link in the chat for those of you who are mightily curious. But elsewise, I'm moving on from this.
I do like this idea, though. Anything that you support the legalization of, you have to engage in. So if you believe in gay marriage, you better be getting butt fucked, guys. I'm just telling you. Goes for you ladies, too.
Let's see. This one comes from Top Ramen Lewis. Oh, boy. Come on. You can do it. Okay, the headline is, just a matter of time before people start snapping. Inmate says spoiled food served at Bexar County Jail. Bexar? B-E-X-A-R. I'm betting I'm mispronouncing that. Somebody's going to correct me in the chat, I bet. Okay, and this is really interesting. So the thumbnail of the article shows the faces of the two people in the primary picture. When you get to the article, the woman's face is digitized out.
Awesome.
Bizarre. A San Antonio man held at the Bexar. Raymond says Bexar is pronounced bear? Bear. As I would ask Tailed Feature, Carson, why? Why? Okay, anyway. A San Antonio man held at the Bexar County Jail since last summer said inmates being fed spoiled food this week pushed conditions inside the jail to near untenable levels. Michael Rogers, 36, spoke with the KSAT 12 Defenders, which is like your local news, whatever, via telephone Thursday, despite concerns from loved ones that he could possibly be retaliated against for speaking about the conditions of the facility while still in custody. Quote, "You can feel the tension rising," said Rogers, "just a matter of time before people start snapping." Rogers has been in custody since early July on 2 charges of felony drug possession, and being a felon in possession of a firearm. Rogers is also being held on a blue warrant, a type of warrant filed by the state for a parole violation that keeps a person in custody even after he or she has made bond on their new charges. He was scheduled to go to trial 1 week ago, court records show. Instead, he remains in jail as the number of COVID-19 cases increase daily. Okay. Counting inmates, deputies, and auxiliary support staff, well over 60 people based at the jail have now tested positive for the deadly virus. But they're not all dying, are they? Rogers said he had noticed a marked change in the food in recent weeks, noting smaller portions, an inconsistent meal schedule, and an incident early Tuesday in which inmates were given trays of spoiled food. Okay, well, if that's true, they should probably stop doing that. So I don't know what happens after that. Spokesman for the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles did not respond to a request for comment. Let's see. A DA spokesperson released the following statement. Considering Mr. Rogers' extensive criminal history and his 3 pending felony charges where he's enhanced as a habitual offender, which means that he is currently facing 25 years to life in prison, the district attorney's office has no plans to intervene on Mr. Rogers' behalf. Well, I mean, yeah, he could be lying.
Yeah.
But if he's not, you should see about that, is all. So I don't know. But yeah, the thumbnail has the lady's picture. The story doesn't. That's weird. We'll do one more, and then we will move on. Okay, this one comes from Shrouded Angel. If it'll come up here. Come on. Woman's friends urge her to dump boyfriend after he makes ridiculous money demand. Okay. A man has been slammed. Well, good for him. After revealing that he charges his girlfriend a fee to stay over at his house.
So?
The pair have been together for a year, and everything had been going well until he popped the question, quote, "Can you start paying $24 for each night you stay over?" Unquote.
They were like an actual hotel charge.
Unsurprisingly, his girlfriend was taken aback and was, quote, really upset. The 28-year-old Reddit users that him and his girlfriend... What? Let me try that again. The 28-year-old Reddit... Okay, I don't even know what that sentence is trying to say. They live separately, but since she started staying 3 or 4 nights a week, his utility bills had gone up. Oh, okay. So he asked her to start, yeah, I know. It's like, good guy, we're still like taking 2 baths a night. So he asked her to start paying $24 for each night that she stayed and told her $24 for one night in an $1,800 a month apartment is a great deal.
$1,800 a month?
Jesus Christ. He wrote, "Now, don't get me wrong. I love having my girlfriend sleep over, and I could even see us living together one day. However, when I asked her to start paying $24 each night she stays over, she got really upset. I explained that all my utility bills have gone up significantly since she started staying over more, and that $24 for one night in an 18... Yeah, okay. Heck, I wish I got to live in my apartment for that little. Anyway, her and her friends think I'm being unreasonable, and her friends are telling her to dump me. I really love her and don't want to lose her, but I'm afraid of ending up in a relationship where bills aren't split equally, and I don't want to be with someone who just sees me as a meal ticket." Dude, first off, she wasn't seeing you as a meal ticket. It's like she's just visiting you at your apartment. It's kind of like, but anyway.
Look, if she's staying over enough that it's affecting his gas and electric, yeah, bitch, you can pony up a little. Maybe not give her a per night.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to just say this. When Squishy used to come over my house to the point to where she stopped leaving, and she was over at like a week or 2 at a time, before she had finally went home again, she literally offered to just give me money for the time that she was there. And the food that she ate and the stuff that she used, she was like, I just feel it's kind of wrong that I've been here all this time. And, and initially I turned her down until we talked about her moving in, like actually officially moving in. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'd call it unreasonable. I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough decision.
I get the not wanting to be, the only one. You've lived separately. She obviously has her own place and everything. Mm-hmm. She can pony up a little bit to help out. I don't think that's
not unreasonable, but the paranoia that somehow she sees him as a meal ticket, that might be, unless there's something else going on, I guess. I mean, if she's got her own place and she's got her own job and everything else, I don't know if she does, but assuming she does, she's just visiting him, so she must have her own place she's staying at.
Yeah.
That might be a little bit beyond.
It's an easy answer. If she don't want to pay for the night, go home, bitch. See you tomorrow.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I feel like there might be more information that we need in this scenario to really make a call. Is it totally unreasonable? I don't think so. Especially if she's spending a significant amount of time over there and actually utilizing, I have a hard time believing that her impact on your utility bills is fucking $24 a day. Like every day she comes over. I feel like that's a little.
What is she doing to jump up utility bills?
Yeah. And which ones at that?
I mean, how much is she like does she come over, plug in her hairdryer and leave it on all night and then take 3 baths? Like, how does that work?
How much food is she eating too? That's another one.
Yeah, I mean,
infinite access to the fridge.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you for all the stories. Appreciate it. Sorry to get to them all, but we get caught on things that just melt our brains. So we move on to the wonderful world of YouTube time. I'll go first because I don't have much. Today I worked on the theme for tonight's show, which I thought was pretty good, if I do say so myself. And I do. And otherwise, I've got 2 or 3 different TEDx options to unleash upon the world tomorrow. It'll be sometime around either somewhere like 11 a.m. or 11:30 a.m. Usual time. I'm trying to aim for that to be the usual time I do them from now on, sometime between 11 and 11:30. So keep an eye on Twitter for the notice of that tomorrow morning. And that's all I got. Monkey?
I took the night off of gaming and had taken the night off of doing a monkey in the morning. But when I woke up due to a bad dream. I'm like, well, I'm not going back to sleep. So did a monkey in the morning for about 3 hours. One time Hammer joined me for a little bit, and then Skeptalk joined me for another part of it. And I enjoyed talking with both of those guys. So it was a lot of fun. And then I went right back to bed and was there until about an hour before I came here.
What was your bad dream, if you don't mind saying, or do you mind saying?
I had a bad dream that somehow I don't remember exactly what it was, but something that I did caused Little Butt to get really scared.
Oh.
And that was all it was, just scared me because it scared her. And like I would never do that to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I woke like right up, and it was sleep was not coming.
Well, thankfully that's just a fiction.
It's fucked with me all day, though. I'm not going to lie.
You're going to call her up and say, I never meant to scare you. She'll be like, what do you mean? All right, Satsu, what have you been up to?
Did a little bit of editing today and been racking my brain trying to figure out what the fuck we're going to play today because I found out that there is a way to access the command codes and stuff in Green Hell to fix our little issue that we were having.
Mm-hmm.
But they literally patched it like days ago.
Yeah, when we were hoping they fixed everything.
Yeah, so if we would have, because we found the method during the stream, but we're like, we'll do it later. If we would have done it then, we could have put in the items we needed and carried on with the game and showed you guys the rest of the stuff. We would have been fine. But because we waited and they patched it, now we can't. So playing Green Hell at this point is pointless. There's no reason to continue because there's nothing else really to do. So I was trying to figure out what we should play, and I think we've settled on Fallout 76.
Oh.
The reasoning is because I believe from the last time we played it, there is enough changes to warrant us to give it another shot. Plus, I'm getting a real Fallout kind of itch, and I don't want to play any of the old ones. Like, I just don't want to go back and play shit I've already done. So I'm like, I'll play this one because it's got a whole bunch of new shit that I've never seen, and we'll see what happens. At the very least, it'll be entertaining and hilarious because me and Monkey are fucking around in it. So we're going to try to play that and see what happens. For the time being, we'll be playing on the Bethesda version until Monkey's Steam one gets done. And then we'll move over there. And at that point, Sinatra might be able to join us because Sinatra plays too. And I know, Scribe, you are hardwired to go to sleep at whatever time, but you have a permanent open invitation.
That would require me to re-download all that crap. And
No.
When I left
that and more.
Yeah, and more, because you see, here's the thing that was funny. So I stopped playing. I think the last time I played 76 was the last time I played with Satsu, right? Which was what, a year and a half ago or whatever. And I told the Bethesda launcher to uninstall the game. But about 2 or 3 months ago or something, I was looking through my computer and checking out my hard disk space and everything. I was like, really? I've got that much? I only have that much free space on here? And so I started looking through the files, and it didn't uninstall the files for the game. It might have uninstalled the launcher and like the high level files, but it left all the data files in there. So I uninstalled all 30 gigabytes, where the fuck it was in there. And I was like, oh, now I hate you even more. I've been sitting here this whole time with this stuff on there I didn't even want, didn't even know it was there. I thought I'd taken it off. So yeah, if you guys give it rave reviews, I might consider reinstalling it. But unless or until I hear something that really puts me over the edge, Bethesda's going to have to work really hard to get my money again on anything, even if it's not Fallout in the future, because that was just a complete boondoggle, and I'm still not happy with them over it. Thank you, Connor Johnson. Are you guys fans of Weird Al Yankovic?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes, actually. Quite a bit.
So I figured we'd give it a try. Just to, because we're kind of stomped on games right now, and we went over to Raft to test that out or whatever, and they call themselves adding some form of controller support on Raft. But it's like a half-ass thing where half of the game is played on the controller and the other half is played on the mouse, like the keyboard. And it's just weird and flimsy and doesn't make any sense. And the only reason I was really able to play that game effectively is because I had that mouse with like 7 extra buttons on it. So I could like map the buttons, but all the mapping and shit is broken and doesn't even work on there. I tried everything I could and it just doesn't function. And I just cannot play that game with the mouse and keyboard. At least not without those extra buttons on the mouse to help me out. Like I can't do. I tried really hard. For several hours, I tried to do like a single player thing and figure it out, but it's just a hot mess for me. Once I fall into the water, I'm pretty much dead. Like that shark eats me, and that's the end of the game. Because it's very difficult for me to play that comfortably for a long amount of time. So that's a no-go until they actually get legitimate controller support. So call me a pleb. It is what it is. But that's what I've worked on today.
All right. Well, on to the wonderful world of thuggetry then, I guess. Do I have much of anything? Maybe not. Let's see. How early in the morning did I start commenting on stuff? Oh, yeah. Joe Biden said this at his virtual town hall meeting the other day. Mark my words, I think he is going to try to kick back the election somehow, come up with some rationale why it can't be held, Biden said in regards to Trump in the elections. And I said, mark your words. Okay, Joe, you got it. I look forward to your prediction becoming totally true.
That sounds like wishful thinking.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Michael Avenatti has been released from jail due to coronavirus fears. That was from CNN Politics.
He was released a while ago.
Well, apparently CNN just decided to tell us in the last 8 hours or so. Just in.
Maybe they just finally let him out.
Maybe you think about Michael Cohen? Michael Cohen was the guy that got released earlier.
Avenatti, we talked about it on the show. Maybe a month, no, maybe 2 weeks ago or so.
Maybe they're planning on it. I tweeted back the headline from Chris Saliz's The Point from July 5th, 2018. President Michael Avenatti, never say never. I thought that was funny. And let's see. China rejects call for an independent international investigation into the origin of the coronavirus. And I said, well, duh. And otherwise, that's about it. Not a very heavy, snarky day for me. So, Satsu, what do you got? Oh, and by the way, I'm step away just for a second, guys.
Satsu? I guess it's just me. Hi, guys. Let's see. Humpetry. The only real humpetry I had for today was the Trump video. Donald. And Donald Trump got a bunch of crap yesterday for the nonsense about him saying to inject yourself with Tide Pods or drink bleach or whatever nonsense they came up with. But he's asked about it during not exactly a press conference, but it was he was in the Oval Office and there were reporters who were asking him questions, and one of them asked him about that. And his response was that he was just asking a sarcastic question. That's all it was, you guys. It was a sarcastic question that he asked to reporters, which is weird because he wasn't talking to the reporters at the time. He turned and nodded to whoever the guy was there from the CDC with him. I think CDC might have been the NIH. Either way, yeah, there was no sarcasm in what he said. And so he went from having people like me be like, yeah, I'll defend you on that bullshit they pulled, to be like, Donald, you're fucking lying here. Now, if he'd said, look, I was asking a hypothetical question, all right, I could see that. If he said he was just musing, he was, thinking out loud, sure. But there was absolutely nothing sarcastic about what he said. Now, there was one article that I read about this where the guy, yeah, he always claims sarcasm, like when he claimed that he was just being sarcastic about the chosen one. You mean like he was in the video that we all fucking saw? Anyway. So, yeah, Donald Trump is out there, well, lying about this. And Trump, there's no reason. There's no need. No need. You had normal people on your side. And this is what the press conference today was really limited. It was only less than 30 minutes today. And you had all this stuff come out about they're telling Donald Trump he should not do as many of his press conferences and stuff. That's what this is all in relation to. But yeah, he just outright lied today. And I'll defend him when he deserves to be defended. But today is not one of those times.
I'm back.
There you are.
I'm back. Oh, was he gone? Was he gone when I said, go ahead, Satsu?
Yeah, that's all right. Great. I took care of it.
Oh, great. All right. Well, there you go.
So that's all I had, guys.
Satsu, it's your turn.
Oh, fucketry?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, countless articles today about Trump telling everybody to drink bleach and inject Lysol to solve all their COVID problems, and arguing with stupid people about it constantly, which I shouldn't be doing because it's dumb and gives me a headache. This is one of the comments that I saw over on Facebook. They said, Trump asked about light and disinfectant injected into the body. There are two existing therapies, UV therapy as well as ozone therapy. The one on the left, the one has the left all riled up, is the ozone therapy. This has been used for cancer patients, O3 gas infused into the body as a disinfectant to improve intake of oxygen while ramping up the immune system, thus more efficiently killing bacteria and viruses. You can Google it if you want. Trump asked an expert off to the side testing what was being done in relative to applying this to the coronavirus. But of course, in NBC, CBS and CNN would take his words out of context and make it sound like he looked dead in the camera and said, hey, everybody, drink bleach and it'll cure you. Disinfectant inside the body is indeed dangerous and should only be done by a doctor. Stop being stupid. And I'm like, this is probably one of the best and thoroughly explained comments that I've seen on here. I don't know. At first, because when it first came out, I wasn't really going to address it because I'm like, nobody cares. Like, literally, not all these people sharing this stuff, they don't give a fuck what he actually said. Like, it doesn't matter. But then this person on my friends list, who is usually on the opposite side of the spectrum from me based on the stuff that she shares, was like, you know what? I'm really sick of people spreading this bullshit. Like, I don't like Trump just like anybody else, but these lies are getting kind of ridiculous at this point. And she was kind of jumping on that please stop making me defend Trump train. And I was like, holy shit. Now I feel obligated because this person has defended it. So, and people naturally were like, you know, you're full of shit. Just say you're a Trump supporter. He basically said that. And then other arguments were he might as well had said it because Trump supporters are stupid and are going to end up killing themselves or, yeah. I don't even know where to begin with that. What this he basically or may as well had said narrative, which goes on a lot Like I've been seeing that for quite a while now, where he literally said this. Look at the headlines. This is what he absolutely said. And you're like, no, he didn't. And they're like, well, he basically did. I'm like, oh, those aren't the same thing. But they're being treated as the same thing because fuck reality. Jim just shared something with us that says a patient in our ER gave himself a bleach enema. He is being treated for external and internal chemical burns and receiving psych consults. He said the president said it kills coronavirus.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Which, regardless of if that's true, let's say it's true. The president did not say that. The left did. So the left, with all of their memes and all the comments on Twitter and all the shit they've been sharing on Facebook and the media, they are the only ones who said that. So even if this is true or fake, the bottom line is Trump didn't say to do anything like that. The left did. And they are still saying it to this very day. Memes are still being put out and still made right now as we speak about them referencing ingesting chemical or cleaning chemicals and products. So, yeah. That kind of took over my fucketry for the day because it just was so baffling that I couldn't really focus on anything else. I'm sure I saw other shit, but I can't even think about it right now. So that be my fucketry.
Okay. Well, anything else you guys want to say about the whole inject disinfectant thing?
No, like I said, for me, the only thing that really, really pissed me off today was seeing Trump lie about it. So,
yeah,
like, we know what you said, jackass.
Yeah, he lied. He might as well have kept it real. I don't see why he lied. It doesn't make any sense.
He knew what he said too, and yet, it's just bizarre. He really is his own worst enemy most days.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, how about a Mad Lib?
All right, let's do it.
Can you feel the energy, guys?
Yeah.
Can you feel it? All right. Let's see. What's this one? Hell, a Mad Lib with 4 words.
What now?
Sure. It'll take us 2 seconds. All right. Satsu, I need an adjective.
Squishy.
Monkey, I need a noun.
Log.
Satsu, I need an animal.
Turkey.
And Monkey, I need a noise.
Fart.
Of course.
Squishy McDonald had a log, E-I-E-I-O. And on that log, he had a turkey, E-I-E-I-O. With a fart here and a fart here. Here a fart, there a fart, everywhere a fart. Squishy McDonald had a log, E-I-E-I-O.
That was stupid.
Yes, that was.
Yes, it was.
That was stupid. I don't know if we've already done that one, so I'm going to not take the chance at repetition. No, that one's too short as well. Let's find something with at least a little bit of. Oh, there we go. That is a lengthy one. All right, so that one's aside, guys. All right, chat. I need your help with this one. I'm going to give you. Well, it's technically 4 different words, but it's just 3 different kinds of words. So your suggestions will fill it out. So I need an adjective, a noun, and a verb. An adjective, a noun, and a verb. Satsu, I need a time span.
32 weeks.
Okay. Get this now. Stop it. There we go. Monkey, I need a noun.
Oh, erection.
Satsu, I need a verb.
Masturbate.
Let's get pattern forming here. Monkey, I also need a verb.
Preschool teacher. Oh no, you said verb.
Oh,
What?
Learn.
that threw me off.
I was
I
like,
heard noun in my head. These things happen.
Hey, wait, and you thought after erection and masturbate to put preschool teacher?
She's an adult.
You want these
Okay.
to be funny, right?
Okay. Satsu, can you think of a noun? Shall I just put it in there?
Yes.
Okay. Now, monkey, think of a different noun.
Oh shit.
Divorce lawyer.
Oh, this is getting interesting.
Satsu, a verb ending in ing.
Fighting.
Monkey, an occupation.
Oh,
To save
how
that
about a janitor?
Satsu, a noun.
How about a crown?
Crown. Okay. Monkey, a noun.
Popsicle.
Okay. Satsu, a famous person.
Brie Larson.
Monkey, an adjective.
Weird.
Satsu, a verb.
How about dance?
Okay. Monkey, a noun.
Oh man. Now that I can't think of them right off, I'm getting them. Let's see. Convertible.
Convertible.
Okay. Satsu, a noun plural.
Butt plugs. Because there has to be.
Monkey, an adjective.
Happy.
Oh, that's gay.
Satsu, noun plural.
How about strip clubs?
Monkey, a verb.
Fall.
Or what?
Fall.
Fall. Okay. Satsu, a preposition.
Preposition. Refresh my memory again because I forgot.
Being like if you're standing on the box, or you are coming home after school. So
okay.
It's like modifying the noun and that kind of thing.
So I was on the right track. I was going to say after.
Okay.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that I wasn't stupid.
And then lastly, monkey, a verb.
Screw.
Screw.
All right, on to chat. An adjective, one of the many that were on here. Red Dirt Runner says spank. Spank?
Spank.
Is that an adjective?
Spanked.
It sounds like, spanked maybe. But,
yeah.
Spank's like a verb. Noun, check your logic, says disinfectant.
Oh, we should have did it COVID themed. Damn it.
Oh, well. Verb from who shall give me the verb? Advocatus diaboli, reiterate.
Oh.
And lastly, the other adjective shall be from, where did they start? Where'd it go? I just saw one. Cindy Rochelle says shiny. All right. So here we go, guys. This one is called A day in the life of a college student.
All right.
The first sentence is already a winner. Every 32 weeks, I wake up and get off my erection. I don't always have time to masturbate a shower, but I always make sure to learn my hair.
All right.
Once that's done, I get some preschool teacher, and then it's off to my first divorce lawyer.
Right.
I often get caught fighting in class. No one likes it when the janitor gives a surprise crown. My second class is popsicle theory. Dr. Brie Larson is incredibly weird, but I never dance her because of her thick convertible. Her butt plugs, however, are really happy.
I bet.
After lunch, I have no more strip clubs and I'm free to fall after my friends. Before I go to bed, I screw a little bit.
It's a good way to end the day.
And the last part is entirely made up of Mad Lib words. So I don't know what it was meant to really say. But the last sentence is, spanked disinfectant reiterate shiny.
What?
That's the last sentence. It's made up of 4 Mad Lib words that people suggested.
Okay.
Read it again.
Spanked disinfectant reiterate shiny. Spanked disinfectant reiterate shiny.
That sounds like a code word for secret agents.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, what's the passphrase? Spanked disinfectant. What is the counter? What's the counter phrase? Reiterate shiny.
I mean, if you slap the squeeze thing, and we're talking about Windex, it could reiterate the shininess of your window.
Wow, Satsu put some thought into that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you. I don't know why you bothered, but there you go, guys.
No, why not? Give it a shot.
Let's see. Let's do one more. We got a couple of minutes. I'll find a shorter one, just for the heck of it.
Her convertible is thick.
Yeah, she got a thick convertible.
That thick convertible, son.
I heard that about her.
Yeah, she wishes she had a thick convertible.
That's right.
No, something that's shorter than even that. No. Give me a really, really short one. Come on. Really, it takes this long to load up a freaking text file. Okay. Excuse me. Satsu, I need a color.
Yellow.
Yellow. Monkey, I need a noun.
Still.
What?
Still, like rum runners and
that kind of
moonshiners. Yeah.
I thought it like it's like sill or something. I was like a windowsill. All right. Satsu, I need a food.
A food?
A
food. Katsu.
I'm assuming I know how
Katsu.
Okay. Monkey, an adjective.
Is weeb an adjective?
Sure. Satsu, an adjective.
Hey, that was directed at me, wasn't it?
No.
You fucker. How about inquisitive?
Monkey, a number.
422.
Satsu, a noun.
A trash bag.
Monkey, a verb.
Impale.
Ooh. Let's see. Satsu, a verb.
Behead.
Okay. And lastly, monkey, a noun.
A noun. Titty.
Titty. Just one.
Just
all right.
One titty.
This one is called How to Make a PB&J.
Oh boy.
Number 1, select the type of bread you want to use. Many prefer the taste of yellow bread, while others prefer still bread because it is healthy.
Okay.
Number 2, choose the flavor of jam or jelly. I personally prefer katsu jam, but you can use whatever you want.
That katsu jam.
Number 3, choose the type of peanut butter, either weeb or inquisitive.
Okay.
Number 4, take out 422 slices of bread.
Damn.
Number 5, use a trash bag to impale the jam all over on the pieces of bread.
Sounds about right.
Number 6, now behead the peanut butter on the other piece of bread.
Necessary step.
What?
And number 7, put them together and you have a PB&J titty.
That PB&J titty now.
The end.
Excellent.
So there you go, guys. A couple of Mad Libs to fill your day with happiness and smiles and confusion and God knows what else. I will post those to Twitter presently. Thank you guys for your participation and help with those. But now we are at the bottom of the hour, and thus it is your time, chat. If you have questions, comments, concerns, complaints, conspiracy theories, if you have ideas about how best to not inject yourself with Lysol, put them in the chat now. If you have questions for us, please put plenty of chat marks after those. If you have statements for us to consider, please put plenty of statement marks after those. And then let's see. You guys are game streaming tonight, correct?
Yes.
Okay. It's a Green Hell again.
Psyche doesn't listen to us.
He don't listen to us at all.
Oh, I thought Monkey was still downloading Fallout 76.
No,
we can't play it through Steam. We still have it on Bethesda.
Oh, okay, because I misunderstood. I thought you were still waiting to download the whole thing. Okay. All you need. Why are we here? Well, to listen to me, obviously.
Duh.
Let's see. Check your logic. Have you heard of Hal Sparks? Yes, I have. He's a comedian. He was yelling me in his live stream when I commented that Trump didn't suggest drinking bleach, which was kind of funny. He was yelling me.
I think he meant yelling at me.
Oh, yelling at me? Oh, okay. I was like, he's like, check your logic. Like, what? Okay. You got Hal Sparks to yell at you? I mean, that's probably a badge of honor somewhere. Nothing for you here. Can someone stop this nightmare? I can't control myself. Okay. Kiefer Dam, was Squeedus's real name partly inspired by the late singer Aaliyah?
No. I think it's a nice name though, but we thought about that when it came up. I just think it's a really nice name. Also, it's spelled differently. It's only one A, not two.
Yeah, because the other one's probably copyrighted by now. Let's see. Red Dirt Runner Scribe, if you could go back to college, would you get a real degree?
Wow. Wow. That's fucked up.
Bro.
Wow. A real degree. Okay. Yes, sure. Why not? Let's see. Next 6 minutes. Ooh, who do you want to play the Silver Surfer? Monkey, because that game is one of the hardest ones on NES.
Oops.
Massive Dynamics. Scribe, how long is a piece of string? I don't know, Captain Spaulding. How long is it? Angry Illinoisian, since alcohol is a disinfectant, why can't we drink away COVID-19? I don't know, but I'll tell you what, during TED Excellence streams, I'm sure trying. Nothing for you here. So what if you can see the dark inside of me? Won't somebody tame this animal? I'm certain these are song lyrics to something that I'm not recognizing, obviously. So apologies for not being as hip as perhaps you wish I was, but I am still me. Let's see. Get that there. And then suddenly, no more questions. Torcular Herophilus says, R.I.P. Sid Haig. Yep, R.I.P. Sid Haig. He looked really bad in that third Devil's Rejects or House of a Thousand Corpses movie where he made a cameo. I was like, oh my God. And, the 3 minutes he was in Bone Tomahawk, took me a second to recognize him because he lost so much weight. It was like, holy cow. Massive Dynamic Scribe Light, twice the distance from the center to one end. But that's not nearly as cool an answer as referencing House of a Thousand Corpses. So, yeah. Green Death, $1 billion, but you have to be gay for an hour. Would you do it? Yes.
Somebody getting
alone?
ripped off.
For $1 billion? Yes.
Somebody getting ripped off, dude.
Yeah, no kidding.
You think I'm better at sex than I am?
I'd spend an hour talking him up, and then I'd take the money. Red Dirt Runner, would you rather give Monk a sensual foot massage or let Satsu pick out a tattoo for you? Have to have one. I have a feeling that trying to give Monkey a foot massage would cause him more pain than relaxation, given his condition. Or am I wrong on that? Yeah,
no, that's true. My feet are hella sensitive.
Yeah, so I would rather take the pain of someone else picking out a tattoo for me than having to cause monkey pain. But I trust Satsu would pick out a dumb tattoo for me.
No, I try to make it as relevant as possible.
Yeah, so it'd be a giant plunger on my leg.
Okay.
Lords of the Night says, Paige, have y'all grown out your COVID beards? I actually have been just as an experiment because I got no reason not to. And my sister hasn't seen it yet. My parents haven't seen it yet. I keep telling them, well, hey, you've got smartphones and I've got a tablet. If you want to put Skype on there, I can show you what it looks like. I'm like, oh my gosh, you must look so weird with it. We've never seen you with a beard before. Like, well, so yeah, I have as full a beard right now as 2 weeks of not shaving can do for me, which isn't a whole heck of a lot, but it's a lot more than I've ever had before. So I don't know that I'll keep it though. That's the thing. I mean, I might have it for as long as I'm locked up, so to speak. But after that, I might pare it down again.
I recently trimmed mine though, so Squishy's not very happy with.
I always have a beard.
You always have a beard because you're a hairy man. You're a monkey man. Thank you, Non-Vitae Rex. If Abomination returned to the MCU but wasn't played by Tim Roth, who would you cast to replace him? Well, I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter who's playing him because it's a voice-modulated CGI construction. Unlike the Hulk, so far as I can recall, this version of the Abomination can't transform back into his human self. But if they decided to change that, at least had a human representation of him, and it wasn't Tim Roth, God, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think. I honestly don't know. It would have to be somebody who at least retained a similar accent. They couldn't. At least I wouldn't want them to change all of the characters' origins. So it'd have to be somebody else with a British accent. I don't know who that would be. So maybe Jason Isaacs or something. He might be kind of good. Roger Renners, where are you putting the tattoo? There is no tattoo. It was a hypothetical. Motto Winter, oh lords, would you all try a jerk-style turkey with a side of mashed potatoes with cheddar bits and a demitasse of hot triple chocolate? I don't know what a demitasse is. I'm assuming it's some kind of dessert, but that all doesn't sound bad inherently.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Okay. Harvest Marvels, haven't had a chance to check it out yet, but do any of you know what the behind-the-scenes controversy that's going on with the all-female-centric Star Wars thing? I only know the surface level that there's been some announcement that they're going to try to make a female-centric Star Wars either animated series or live-action series, and there's speculation, is it going to be focused on Ahsoka, or is it going to be focused on Dr. Aphra, or all these other characters? Like, I don't know. There are other people out there who have more information, like I think Doomcock and Midnight's Edge have more information on that, but that's as much as I know. Do you guys know anything about that?
Have not heard.
Yep.
Cryptic says, and thank you, Cryptic. I've had enough of Abomination. Obamation? Obamation?
I think it'd be nice if they just did it, you know?
What, Obamation?
No, I mean, just like made stuff. I mean, obviously you have to promote it and talk about it, and if you're asked about it or whatever, but like leave the focuses, you know, when it comes to that stuff out of it. Just what is it going to be about? It's going to be about this. It's going to have this plot and be in this setting, and you know, and what? But they're like, it's got a lot of vagina in it.
Yeah. Why say it's a female-centric thing? Just say it's a. I mean, if they came out and said, we're going to, if you guys don't know who Dr. Aphra is, it's this female sort of like, if Indiana Jones had a sort of sci-fi female equivalent in Star Wars, not exactly Tomb Raider, but half Tomb Raider, half mad scientist kind of thing. She was a character in the Darth Vader comic book series that Marvel put out a couple years ago, which is actually a really good comic book series. It's actually some pretty good Darth Vader stuff there. And she was this sort of side character that showed up, and they developed a very interesting character. So if they'd come out and just said, we're going to make a Dr. Aphra live action series that sort of has, you know, the Star Wars equivalent of a sci-fi Indiana Jones, I'd be like, that sounds kind of cool all by itself. But yeah, like Satsu said, it's like, yeah, let's not talk about who it's about. Let's talk about what it's about, which seemed to be more important for some reason.
And like people argue like, well, what's wrong with that? I'm like, well, same thing that would be wrong if they were just like, yeah, we got this all male thing going on. It's very male centric. I'd be like, it's such a useless detail.
Yeah.
It's still useless either way.
Yeah.
You know,
it says nothing about what the show is.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
But usually the response to that would be, yeah, of course it's nothing to you because you guys have all the stuff. Everything is all male. It's like, yeah, okay. Okay.
Several people want to tell me a demitasse is a tiny cup used to serve Turkish coffee or espresso.
Oh, all right.
Okay, I think I have a mental image now of what you're talking about. I've seen some movies in it or with it. Massive Dynamics, what movie from the 80s do you think Hollywood will violate next? Movie from the 80s. God, I don't know. You think they'll remake 16 Candles?
Oh God!
Or
how about Running Scared, and not the one with Paul Walker, but like the Gregory Hines, Billy Crystal version, Running Scared.
I could see it.
Yeah, I could see them getting. Who'd be good for that?
No one.
No, if they got, let's see, who could play Billy? Who could play Billy Crystal's part? Like Paul Rudd as the Billy Crystal character, and then if they got Paul Rudd and Dave Chappelle.
Oh my God!
I might go see it just for that. No, it's not gonna happen.
When's the last time Dave did a movie?
A movie? I think Half Baked was. I think Half Baked was his last movie, unless he did like a cameo in something. Man. But no, he doesn't need to do anything anymore. He's got so much money.
Yeah, he don't give a fuck no more.
Stargazer Net, Scribe, if the TEDx talks make you so stressed, why do you cover them? Oh, they don't make me stressed. They make me momentarily bewildered that I'm watching them. You know, and you guys have heard me on there. I'm not making that up. When I'm trying to parse out someone's conclusions or arguments or logic, and it just, like I say in the last one, a syntax error occurs in my brain. It really does happen. But here's the thing. In the monotony that is just bouncing around my apartment every day, doing work, and then like wandering around and having nothing to do, I look forward to having something that at least exercises my brain a little bit. And again, trying to decipher like what this person's talking about or assessing, like, do they have a point or can I relate to this and that kind of thing. Because I don't know what I'm going to watch before I watch it. I know the title of the thing. I have maybe a vague notion that it might be something interesting, but it's all a crapshoot. So it's it's like cracking open a book I don't know anything about and giving it a read and just sort of seeing what happens. So it is entertaining for me. I enjoy it to the extent that I enjoy it, but also my exasperation is, I think, kind of fun after a fashion. I don't know. You guys watch, you guys listen, you tell me. It's more It's more your interpretation than it has to do with me. Missed something. Let's see. Dangerous Spaces, Lords of the Night. It's a female-centric thing, so is lesbian porn. What is their point? Yeah, like I say, it's saying it's a female-centric blah says nothing about what it is, isn't getting me excited for it. If they said it was a series set in the Old Republic and it gives me the names of 3 characters and they just happen to be female characters, that would get me more interested, relatively speaking, than just saying it's going to be a series about cats. Like, and?
It's got cats in it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Can you imagine that's the elevator pitch? Like you're standing in an elevator with Kathleen Kennedy, you say, hey, I got a great idea for a Star Wars series. Oh, yeah? What is it? It's female-centric. Sold. Like, that's how that went. That's how that went.
It sounds like a joke, but
I know.
Literally works on people. Like that's how some people think about it. Oh, it's got vaginas in it? All right, I don't care about anything else.
Red Dirt Runner, would y'all ever consider doing a D&D or similar? Would you all? Well, Monkey and Satsu have no interest in tabletop role-playing. They've made that very clear. So all my dreams and hopes have died.
Sorry.
Yeah. Harvest Marvos, any of you have favorite comedy Western other than Blazing Saddles? I like the City Slickers movies. Comedy Western. I mean, I know there's a few out there, but there aren't many that like really. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Aside from Blazing Saddles or City Slickers, I mean, maybe the Frisco Kid, but that's stretching it a little bit for me.
The only one I can think of was it was an HBO movie with Anthony Edwards, and it was called El Diablo. It was him and Louis Gossett Jr. Really good movie.
Oh God, that's reaching back.
But it's funny, yeah.
Massive Dynamic Scribe, what video game would you like to see a new installment of? Max Payne. We're going to go back to New York to follow up with the events of the third one. I really like the third one. The soundtrack to the third Max Payne game is probably one of the best video game soundtracks, at least action game soundtracks I've come across. There's a lot of really good soundtracks out there, but that one's great. I like just listening to the songs on that one. But yeah, it'd give him a chance to it'd be very sentimental if they took it back and we saw some familiar stuff from New York and that kind of stuff and followed up on what happened in the graveyard in Max Payne 3. That's the first one that comes to mind, at least. I'm sure there's a dozen others I could think of if I spent some time at it. You guys got any wish list video game sequels?
Resident Evil Outbreak 3.
They
need to make it happen. Next gen Resident Evil Outbreak would be the greatest thing ever, especially now that Resident Evil has kind of really jumped back into the mainstream. Co-op Resident Evil. Get her done.
Just the one that's already on its way, and that'd be Baldur's Gate. So I'm sure there's others, but I mean, I would like to see GTA just redo San Andreas properly.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, if they got the original team back together, and that would be the only way I'd be really interested in it. Knights of the Old Republic 3. But I mean, the Old Republic MMO, some of the class stories were great. The Agent, the Sith Warrior ones were really good. But yeah, I'd rather have a full-on KOTOR 3. Angry Illinoisian. So what you are saying, out of boredom, you are a glutton for punishment. No, I'm just a glutton for something different. Something to keep my attention and keep me interested. And because I'll tell you what, if I'm anything else, or I should say, if I'm nothing else when I'm watching those things, I'm attentive. I am paying very close attention to what's being said and really trying to think through what I'm being given. And as I said, I don't know what's going to come next in the presentation. So aside from the monotony and tedium, I mean, my job every day is very, very routine. It's just like a clockwork thing. I have to hit these beats. I have to turn in these things every single day. It's very methodical, very tedious. So if I can throw a little bit of mental adventure into my day, I'll go for it. And that's so far what the TEDx things have done for me. So yeah, they're mind numbing. They're sometimes very frustrating, but they're never not interesting. So I'll take interesting over boredom. Angela Arriaga says, I would do a D&D game with Scribe. I've only run, I think maybe 2 D&D games in my entire life. Running tabletop games, I've done a lot of those, but D&D specifically only like once or twice. So, but I have a library, like, well, not literally a library, but I've got lots and lots and lots of role-playing books of different games and different genres and all types of stuff. So I've been thinking about trying to figure out how to do a tabletop game online. I know that Sinatra and those guys do one already, but I don't know if I'd want to run D&D specifically. I'm not a huge fan of D&D. Lots and lots of crunchy system stuff, and I'm not much of a system person. So that's part of the problem. Red Dirt Runner, what do y'all think is the best thing that has come out of the whole quarantine? I don't think it's happened yet, but I'm sort of hopeful that once everything alleviates, people will have a greater appreciation for some of the simpler things that are obviously easily put on hold in situations like this. You know, maybe at least for a little while, maybe appreciate human contact more than they do just online contact and so on. So maybe there'll be a knock-on effect after that. That's what I'm kind of hoping for. What do you guys think?
I mean, that's about as good as you can hope for, I would say. I mean, I don't think there's much good to come out of, hey, everybody, we got to stay inside because it's sickly out.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of people who probably didn't have a chance to spend a lot of time with their family is probably doing so, regardless of the reason, you know, being really bad. I think some people might be a little grateful for that. Outside of that, I mean, the stimulus check was nice, I guess.
Fair enough.
I still haven't gotten mine, but I'm not too worried right now. Dom O'Leary, Scribe, do you pick the TEDx at random, go by a title that picks your interest, or something else? So what I'll do is I'll search the TEDx channel for random keywords of things like keywords on subjects that I've covered in the past. Like I'll put in feminism or diversity or mass incarceration or justice or border, things like that, and just see what comes up, because you never know. And then I go down and I try not to pick out anything that's older than, say, maybe a year. I don't want to go like too far into the past if they're talking about something that was, you know, more pertinent years ago or something. But then I'll just look at the title and I'll say, does the title grab my attention? Does it sound like something interesting or confusing or a concept I've never heard of before? Like this constant pattern of taking some negative attribute and putting it up against something positive, like toxic positivity or radical empathy. It seems to be a very easy equation to make up some new term that you're hoping will, or diversity debt. Same thing, taking one or the other. So yeah, that's how I look for them, I guess. But after that, it's a crapshoot. Like just putting in a keyword, it can bring up any number of things, and then it's just kind of finding something that jumps out at me. And then I have to check to make sure the sound quality of the original recording is up to snuff, because sometimes those things are recorded and the audio is so bad it sounds like somebody put a microphone at the back of a warehouse and the person's talking and you can just barely tell what's going on. So if the audio quality sucks, I just pass it by, even if it's a subject that I might otherwise be interested in. Cody Fry, thank you. I tuned out most of this stream, so just pretend this is a relevant hot take or something. Wow, dude, that's so insightful. Thanks. Damn. Boy, you sure burned that noun.
That's right.
Yeah. Massive Dynamics, comedy western, Three Amigos. That's true. I guess that's a comedy one. Yeah, but I mean, I mean, Three Amigos has more of a sentimental value in me than I remember that being hilarious thing, you know?
Yeah, I didn't think it was all that funny of a movie.
No, it's a memorable movie. It's a like I say, a sentimental favorite, so to speak. It's not something that I just like run out to watch. Red Dirt Runner, would you consider a co-host on TED Talks like Drunkle or Bear? Well, I had Tailed Feature on a couple back because he had me on for teaching me Scottish Gaelic, and he was available, and I was like, hey, I got this TEDx talk was given in Glasgow, and he joined me for that. So I'm not averse to having a co-host on. I just don't know how often I could arrange it, or who to do what with, given time zones and such. Let's see. Dangerous Spaces Scribe Light. I think they'll violate Toy Soldiers by remaking it an all-girls school. The terrorists will remain all-male, of course. Thoughts? Oh, Toy Soldiers. I still have that. I got a VHS copy of that somewhere. Watching Will Wheaton get totally mowed down was one of my favorite parts of that movie, because I still thought of him as Wesley, and I hated Wesley. So, but I mean, it was like Will Wheaton getting mowed down, and then his dad being Lenny Briscoe from Law and Order. Yeah, that was playing a mob boss. That was great. Let's see. Check your logic. Is the Bleach scandal enough stupidity for Monkey to do a video?
I almost
Probably
did.
not.
Probably not, says Monkey.
Especially not after his dumbass response.
Yeah. Motto Winter, Olod's Cat Chow, Tidy Cats, or Dr. Wan Wan's Feline Deterrent?
What?
I don't know what the question is asking. Massive Dynamics, Comedy Western, A Million Ways to Die in the West. That was so terrible. That whole thing was so long and terrible. There was like 2 gags in it that were kind of amusing, and having Doc Brown show up with the DeLorean was kind of neat for a second, but everything about that movie was just so bad. It was like what's his name? Just like, I've got a lot of money and someone's willing to fund this, so I'm going to have like a really long movie with nothing but sight gags, and sight gags that go on for way too long.
What was that movie even about?
It was a comedy set in the West, Western stuff, and it had Seth, what's his name, from Family Guy, who wrote and produced and directed the whole thing or whatever, and tons of cameos of people, and it was just an overblown bad attempt. It was sort of like trying to be like Airplane, but in the West, like with a whole bunch of sight gags, and it was just an excuse to move from one gag to the next over the course of like 2 some odd hours.
Mm-hmm.
It was way too long. But anyway, I can't remember most of it because it was just so boring. Let's see. Red Dirt Runner, Wagons East. Oh God. That was,
I remember that.
Matthew Perry and John Candy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think I ever actually watched it, but I remember it.
Yeah, or was it? No, Matthew Perry. No, I was thinking of Matthew Perry and Chris Farley. That was a different movie. No, but the Wagons East with John Candy.
John Candy, I know.
Yeah, John Candy. I forget who the secondary star was in that. There was somebody with a name.
Somebody with a name.
Well, somebody. Yeah, I mean, if you told me, I'd remember. But yeah. Let's see. Support your local sheriff and support your local gunfighters as Advocates Diaboli. Oh, I haven't seen those in forever. And lastly, Chris Farley, Almost Heroes. That's right, Mr. Scott. Yeah, Chris Farley and Matthew Perry was Almost Heroes. That's right. But anyway, guys, by the time I finish this, we'll be at the top of the hour, and thus the end of the show. Remember, go over to 2 Cents Plus just after this to watch Monkey and Satsu run around in post-apocalyptic West Virginia in the newly improved, supposedly, Fallout 76.
Supposedly.
Supposedly.
We'll see.
And yeah, everybody, thank you for coming out tonight, as you guys always do. You guys really are the best audience anybody could ask for in the world, and especially in YouTube. True story. And don't tell anybody, or don't let anybody tell you different. That's what I meant to say. Let's see. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though our audience is the most well-behaved in the world, for the most part, most of the time. Yeah, you are. And everyone who donated, thank you so much for your generosity. I really do appreciate it in these weird times. I'll be making my once-a-week trip to the grocery store tomorrow, where I will purchase bad things to put into my body, like Lysol. Remember, tomorrow night, per usual, will be on Monkey's channel at the regular time. Tomorrow, sometime 11 or 11:30, keep an eye on Twitter. I'll be doing another TED Excellent stream for your entertainment and my irritation, depending on the circumstances. Anything else to mention before we go, guys?
Nothing that comes to mind, no.
Waffles and nothing comes to mind. Well, with that, guys, Monkey, Satsu, thank you for joining me.
Indeed.
Everyone, your lives make us sad, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
And getting out my copy of Screw the Roses, Send Me the Thorns, the romance and sexual sorcery of sadomasochism.
Sadomasochism.
And today's completely irrelevant secret word is phenomenon.
Ooh.
Doot 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 doot.
Phenomenon.
Doot 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 doot.
Phenomenon.
Doot doot.